Hey, what's up guys, it's Marf and welcome back to another Asphalt Legends Unite video, and today I have something very special. Gameloft has given me exclusive early access to the gameplay of the new Singapore track that was just released with the new Road to Unite episode. So in this video, as you can see, you're going to get the gameplay of a full run throughout the track as well as some environmental shots. I'm going to point out a bunch of neat things, not only about the new update and expansion, but also about the track as well. So let's get right into it. Now, firstly, for me, this was the biggest thing I noticed, and that was the new shockwave effect, and I am absolutely in love. It feels so punchy, so much better than the old one in my opinion, and as you can see on this frame specifically, the colors actually affect the world around you with the surrounding environment rather than just the shockwave effect happening on top of your car with the old effect. And this is sort of similar to how activating Perfect Nitro in Asphalt 8 would sort of color shift the entire world around you. Now, in addition to the visual side of things getting updated with the Nitro effects, the audio has also been updated with brand new sound effects for activating shockwave, picking up Nitro, and activating Nitro, of course, based on single, double tap, and perfect Nitro. So those also sound really fantastic, especially the new shockwave sound. It has a very boomy, deep bass sound effect that I really love. Some of the other general updates include an updated countdown screen with, of course, colors that match the purple layout and color scheme of Asphalt Legends Unite, and of course that means that the start and finish lines have both been updated as well to reflect the new color scheme. Now, I know I've been going on about this pretty much in every new Asphalt Legends Unite video, but just in case you haven't noticed quite yet, there is a ton of new lighting effects, and one of the best ways that you can see it in this video is through the tunnel that showcases the effects of the new real-time lighting with things like the headlights. And in my opinion, the overall lighting of this track is fantastic. Now, we sort of predicted that based on the first image we got of Asphalt Legends Unite, that it could be the new track, and that because it was dark, it could be set at night, and we were correct. Obviously, you can see throughout the track and throughout the video, it's set at nighttime, but what this also showcases, if you can see with the neon lights and everything going on, is how much more contrast there is with this game, including the new real-time lighting effects. So overall, I'm really loving the colors throughout this video, and specifically the neon lights and the general color scheme really reminds me of some older tracks from Asphalt 6 and Asphalt 5. I'll show you guys a couple of sections from the environmental sort of overview images that were provided to me, and I absolutely love those flyovers. They look incredible. Again, they just give me some old vibes, not in a bad way, but in like an aesthetic and cool type of way. So I'm very excited for that. And you can also see in those flyovers, there are parts of the track that are not shown throughout this run. And I can sort of suspect that Gameloft maybe wasn't trying to go too crazy with the jumps, or they chose a very specific layout to try and keep some things a bit of a surprise for later on. So please keep that in mind. This is, of course, not the full track. There are going to be variants for Singapore, so I can imagine that there may be some higher jumps, crazier stunts, bigger and better set pieces that we haven't seen quite yet, because that was something that I did notice, is that there wasn't a whole lot of verticality throughout the track, but it did seem like whoever was controlling the car was trying to not necessarily go above and beyond on those barrel rolls and ramps, just to sort of keep things a little bit of a surprise. So I'm not super worried or anything like that. There is still a ton to explore with this track outside of just this one variant. So now I'm going to go over just a couple of little details throughout this that could hint at some other things upcoming in future tracks possibly. Firstly, here you can see a picture where you can see the Unite logo is sort of spread out with some drones, I think those are, over the skyline or over the ocean there, and that's really cool. Maybe they're now assets in the game where they can rearrange little lights and drones. Maybe that could potentially help players get directions, like maybe they could form an arrow, maybe they can be a element in some sort of track design in the upcoming updates, or it could also be something in this track that they haven't shown quite yet, but I think that's really cool and a great idea. Now, something else you'll notice throughout the gameplay is that there are a ton of moving parts, including the Ferris wheel, and I believe there were a couple of other things as well, like some rides that moved up and down, and something we saw with previous tracks in Asphalt 9, like Greenland, is where a moving part could potentially affect the gameplay, such as the icebergs sliding sliding back and forth, or the geysers erupting that would actually push your car up and down. And throughout this video, you don't necessarily see any of that in this track. However, keep in mind that that's something that could definitely happen. There could be a part of this track, for example, on the water slide, or throughout the parts where the car drives a bit underwater in the ocean. Maybe that could hint at some different gameplay changing elements or mechanics in this track that we haven't seen yet. Another section from the environmental flybys that I noticed was this little clip right here of what seems to be a track underwater. Now, what this immediately reminds me of is the Bahamas track from Asphalt 6 and 7, where a section of the track goes through an underground aquarium where you can see the water above and to the side of you, and this definitely fits that vibe. I am so excited for something like that to return in an Asphalt game. I believe there was a small section like that in the Dubai track from Asphalt 8, but it was never really the best route to go, to be honest, so it wasn't really experienced a lot. But I'm hoping that this is one of the main parts of other variants for Singapore, because I absolutely love that sort of visual style in racing games. Another part of the environment that I was absolutely not expecting was these little sections here in what seems to be an ancient Egyptian, I guess maybe it's an amusement park or some sort of themed area. Obviously, this isn't just teleporting you to the Egypt track or anything like that, but I was surprised to see that sort of visual style in this track, and a lot of the environment shows off these assets that the player doesn't drive through in the variant that was shown to us. So I'm assuming there's quite a bit of track in this area that we haven't seen yet, so possibly a couple of surprises here and there. Alrighty guys, so I think that about covers everything that I noticed throughout the gameplay for the new Singapore track in Asphalt Legends Unite. I can't tell you guys how excited I am for this track. It looks like there is so much going on, and not only that, but there's also so much color in this track, and I can't stress enough how much I love color in my racing games. It just makes the game feel quicker and more vibrant, and that might be not very exciting to you guys, but for me, I love the contrasty, saturated style that's in this track. So I'm very excited to see any more gameplay tricks that we haven't quite seen yet throughout Singapore. And of course, thank you once again to Gameloft for sending me over this footage so I can share it with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Maybe I missed a small detail that you've noticed that maybe would be cool for the community to know about. Be sure to leave those in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys later.